Hi there, I'm Neil Vinnikirk. We're in the studio today. Now in the studio, obviously I use a lot of flash photography, but very often I use continuous lighting. And continuous lighting has specifically, it's used for video. Flash has no real meaning with video. But also for stills photography, very often continuous lighting is very useful because what you see is what you get. That is the useful aspect of continuous lighting. Now a new lighting kit caught my attention. It's called the Spekular. And the basic kit consists of 4 of these bars, which you compile with these connectors. So you can put them together and you can create a panel of 4, or you can create a strip of 2 by 2. And you can even put them at an angle. You can now create a square. You can compile more of them up to 8. You can have a, what's 8? Octagon. There you go. So as you can see, you can compile them into different big shapes and create different lighting patterns on your subject, or if you create a big octagon or hexagon, a larger light pattern. So I have Annalisa here. So I've set up 2 of these lights as different configurations. One is a panel of 6 lights, and then I have another configuration where I use the 6 lights as a hexagon. So we're going to look at how the shadows differ and how the light fall off differ. Now I have the panel on at the moment, and you can see it'll give you a very pronounced shadow, but more specifically, and I'll take a photo of so you can see it, the shadow here is quite specific because, again, it's a small light source. Now I'm going to flip it over to the hexagon and we see what happens. And now, in a close-up photograph, you'll see the gradient of light here is more gentle because the light is now coming from a wider area than the smaller rectangle. Now the shadow is more diffuse, but now we get sort of multiple shadows, but it's not that distinct. So the shadows change, and then the way that the light is dispersed across somebody's face for a portrait also changes. So we're shooting with the panel first, the panel of 6 lights, just a single light source, and looks good. Good. Don't change, hold that pose. I'm going to switch the lights over. And we can clearly see then how the hexagon becomes a larger light source. So using this setup, a hexagon as a single light source, it looks very similar to a ring flash, although a ring flash tends to be a smaller light source, giving it more pronounced shadows. This one slightly larger, so you can see the shadows behind her. It's there, similar to a ring flash, but it's a little more diffuse. Still cool if you like that kind of effect. And again, because the light comes from the camera's axis, it is very flat, and you get that circular highlight now, or in this case, the highlight will be a hexagon. Okay, Annalisa, camera. Good, good. And a hint of a smile, bit of mischief. Lift your chin slightly. Cool. And we're going to have you move forward, away from the background. Okay, about there. Come on to the line. Yeah. And lift your chin slightly. And serious. Cool, I think we have it. Thank you. So for a high key setup, what I've done is I've split the panel into 2 smaller panels of 3 strips each. To throw light on the background, make it white, blow it out, and then the hexagon on Annalisa for a big large light source. Let's see how it looks. Into the smile. So as you can see, the photographs look exactly like you expect. High key, white shirt, but you can still see detail because we're giving it a bit of a side light, not flat light. And then the lights on the background, blowing it out to pure white. Looks good. So we had Annalisa on the high key setup, and now we have Elisha. We're going to change the lighting up a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this main light, switch it over to the side to get more directional light, a lot more contrast. And then these 2 lights in the background, I'm going to flip them around to give a bit more of a rim light, a bit of an edge, and let the background go to grey. Let's see how it looks. I think take a big step forward. So about there, let's find a marker. So you kind of toes in line with this line here. Background is not dark enough, so I'm going to rotate this light a little bit more and move it a touch forward. Okay, and if you can step 6 inches forward, okay, that's good. That'll make the background just a touch darker. Okay, drop your chin slightly and rotate a little more into the main light. Tilt your head up. But tilt your head a little more straight, drop your chin, and one hand in the pocket, kind of just sweep the jacket back, touch, that looks good, drop your chin, so the photographs look pretty good, but the background goes to grey, but I would like it a little more punchy. I want the background darker, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll up the white paper backdrop and go back to the mottled dark grey background and just give it a bit more grunge. Turn your head a fraction. Just going to do a test shot. Rotate more and turn your head a little more into me. More. Keep your body. Now rotate a little bit back, turn your head more. Drop your chin. Go the other way. And open your body now a little bit more. With a grey background, I'm hoping that the photograph will be a little more punchy, a little more dramatic than with a white background. Okay, Elisha, just tilt your head a little over, drop your chin a little bit, turn your head a fraction to me. I like that. And lift your chin again. Cool. And turn your face a little more to me. More. And drop your chin again. And let's rotate around. So your shoulder is into the light. We'll see how that changes the lighting on you. And drop your chin. And lift your chin slightly, and a hint of a smile, just sort of a mischievous little grin there. So I like the look, but I would like to make it a little more dramatic. So what I'm going to do is break down that hexagon and create 2 strips that I can move on either side. For this setup, what I've done is I've changed the configuration to be 2 tall vertical lights. There are 3 by 2 and another 3 by 2 strips. Now I've set them up symmetrically, and we can have Elisha move forward and back. That'll change the light. Of course, you can move the lights around. You've got 360 degrees of freedom. You can move the lights around, change the contrast. Now in this basic setup here, I'm going for a very symmetrical light. We're going to have you move a little forward and back, see how that changes it. And then we're going to turn the one down and get less light on one side, and this side become brighter. We have options. That's a beautiful thing with light. So at this point we have very symmetrical lights, and we can see it in the catchlight in the eye. And give me a bit of a mischievous grin. There you go. Cool. Turn it a little bit. Rotate. So the lighting here is very flat, very even. Okay, I'm going to turn the light down. Just look straight forward. About there. So obviously we can turn the lights up and down and change the contrast. I like this nice and moody. I like this, good. Turn your head a little more into the main light and camera. I'm going to pop onto a ladder and just shoot from slightly higher up. And just drop your chin slightly. Rotate this way. Turn more, drop your chin again. and camera, and rotate the other way around. More, 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 even more. Turn your head to me. Cool, just like that. Tilt your head a little over and rotate your chin towards me. Rotate, there you go. Thank you, I think that looks great.